Hey guys, today I'm going to show you how to replace your wear ring in your SEADOO Spark in under like half an hour. Now, some of the things that you might need here is your grease gun with marine grease, a 3/8 extensions, 3/8 swivel, thread locker, a half inch, a quarter, 10 millimeter, you'll need two 10 millimeters. You need a 13 millimeter, you'll need two of those. You need 3/8 and 1/4. And of course, you do need your wear ring right there. And I suggest having a nice clean towel with you. So let's get right to it. One of the first things you're gonna wanna do is get your 1/4 and pry this clamp here loose. Now after you take that 1/4 hose off, the next thing you're gonna wanna do is head over to this IBR trim right here. Now you need a 13 millimeter for that. And you should be warned, once you take this off, there is a washer on this side, the other side, and then in the middle, there is a spacer. And remember the pattern for it, you know. So let's take this off now. When the trim is taken off, the order for the washers and the spacer look like this. So the spacer kind of goes in the middle, and the washer's on the side. So now next, what you want to do is take your 10 millimeter, and you're going to want an extension on your 10 millimeter, and you're going to look inside the top here, move the steering to the left, and you'll see the 10 millimeters right here and on the bottom. Now the extension works really great on the bottom, and then hit out the other 10 millimeter on the top. So we'll see you then. All right, now it's off, and the order for that is this bolt goes on the top, and then the washer and the nut go on the bottom. So that's that. The next thing you want to do here now is take your 3/8 ratchet with all the extensions you can get, the swivel with that, and then our 1/2 inch. And what you're going to want to do is take this bolt off right here, right there where I'm pointing, and there's another one right in the corner right there. You can kind of see it. And then on the right side here, there's a bolt right there. So those are the only three. And so once you get them loose, you can just kind of grab this whole assembly and just yank her out. Do be careful though, because the steering is right here, and you do not want to, jam that up in there too bad. So I'll see you again once I get this off. So once that pump is out, you'll see that you have 3 bolts, and they have just 1 washer on each bolt. Now, this is what we're worried about right here, is this old wear ring right here. As you can see, somebody ran it through the sand and just kind of broke down and exploded, I guess. Now, actually, I was with the guy when we're out on the lake, and he actually ended up sucking a weed as well, and I think that was the final blow. So that's that. So this is kind of trash, but you want to make sure that you grab this plastic O-ring right here. That's very essential, and we can just place that right up on the new one here. So you'll see that there's like a big edge and then a small edge, and on the small edge, yeah, you can kind of see there's that small ridge, and inside, on the other side where it's a flat edge, not the tapered edge, but on the flat edge, you can see inside where it goes, where that tiny little ridge goes. So you line it up just like so, and you push it in. And of course, I can't do it with one hand, so I'm gonna put this down real quick, and then we'll continue. Okay, so I really recommend doing this, is to get your marine grease and clean off the tip with your clean rag. And once that's clean, poke that down in this impeller right there where the splines are, and grease the heck out of the splines, because yeah, once those splines go, you got to replace your impeller, and you got to replace your drive shaft thing right there, which is a lot of money, and I've had to do it for that Polaris, and its brother Polaris that's out on the lake right now is the drive shaft is about to go out on that one. So yikes, a lot of money. So anyway, once you get done lubricating that, the wear ring, the O-ring side goes in first, and then that notch aligns with this black plastic piece right there. So what you're left with is that longer piece, you know, without the O-ring, that's facing towards you. And now, a super important thing to know is when you're putting this impeller back in after you've greased it up and put this new wear ring with the O-ring on it, is you see this on the right side here is the steering cable. You want to make sure that this end goes in the middle on the right side of the pump, goes in the middle of this right here, so that it aligns very nicely with the steering. And it can be kind of tricky because you got to get the pump over these two pieces right here, and that's kind of tricky. And above all, the trickiest is aligning that the impeller with the shaft right here. And then once it even just goes in, you may not be able to get all the way in because the splines don't match up. So you have to kind of twist the pump in there, and eventually it'll kind of budge right in. And so once I get that on, then I'll show you guys how we're gonna put these the bolts back in. So next up is to put these 3 bolts back in, and I just like to apply some Loctite on these bolts and just apply them to where you took them out. Now it's pretty stinking hard doing it with one hand. And so, okay, so now when they're in, you want to make sure that you don't strip it, because that's just really terrible if you strip it. And what I usually do when I have both hands available is push this pump all the way so it's secure, and then I'll take the bolt when it's inside of there and I'll rotate it to the left until it clicks once, and that means that it's in. And I'll keep rotating it to the right by hand until I can't rotate it anymore. And I'll do it for all 3 after Loctiting them, so I do not strip them. Really important. Left till it clicks, and then right and hand tighten it. And then you kind of want to take your extension with the half, go in there and tighten them all up. I usually do the left, right, and then the top, and I don't tighten them all the way. But once they're just like tighten to the metal, then I go back and do left, right, and then top all the way, so it's real snug in there. Now, I don't know what the torque specifications for these are, because I just usually go in there once it kind of stops, then I give it another half turn to really tighten it. But if anybody does know the torque spec, please comment it, and then I'll put it down in my description. So I'm going to torque them all up, and then I'll get back to you. And now once those are all bolted back, those 3 in the corner, and then you make sure that your steering is in the middle right there where it's uninterrupted. Then you can go ahead and reassemble your thing the way that you took it apart, and just and I won't show you any of that because you already know, but to kind of review it, so you pull that back right here. The steering actually goes on the bottom, I believe, or the top. Nope, it's the bottom. Yep, it's on the bottom. And then it's a 10 millimeter, and they go up, bolts on top, the washer and the nut are on the bottom, so that goes there. Then it's your 13 millimeter. It's a bolt washer, and then in the middle there's that spacer and a washer on the other side, and the nut. And you don't have to use any of the thread locker on these because they have the plastic or the nylon on the net, so they don't come loose on themselves. And last but not least, you put that 1/4 hose back on, you tighten her up, and bam, you are ready to get back out on the lake. And yeah, tomorrow I just can't wait to get back out because, heck, these are really fun machines. So, well, thanks for watching, and if you have any suggestions or think I got something terribly wrong, just let me know, and I'll make an update video. But as far as I'm concerned, this is how I've been doing it for the past 15 times, because I also have another Spark out there on the lake, out on the dock, and yeah, we just run through all the weeds and boom, the wear ring goes. So thanks again, guys.